finding people who fall in love with our mission, that really get it, like spending a little bit of extra time, connecting to them and telling them our vision and mission. And as they fall in love with it and staying really open to how they want to grow it, because we don't know, especially our guides are younger than us and they're a little bit like more tapped in. So we just listen.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Amira, which is the founder of Epic Maui Hikes and Epic Events. Amira, tell us, what are the 5 steps to make your first million?
So for my business, I ran off of a few different principles, that I met an older man when I was living in the jungle, and I asked him what was his 5 things he wished he learned at my age. And one of them was creating residual income. And so when I started this business, it originally, in my vision, I pictured, okay, what does residual income look like? So really like feeling into my vision of how I want my life to look, and what kind of like lifestyle that I would want in this business, and then staying committed to that, because in business all the time there's like some emergency and there is something that, I can always jump in and do it myself. And so I guess my role has always been, no, I'm committed to being a visionary, and I'm committed to just figuring out how someone else can help. So going with like the motto of who, not how, has been a major shift for me, of just finding people that really know that have the magic to contribute to the business in the way that we need, instead of just, solving everything myself. That's been one of like the main principles.
Very good. So what are the next steps? So we have step number 1. What would be step number 2?
So another thing is trusting, well, I guess I would start with, trusting the process of everything. I think there's so much doubt all the time. And for me, I have a business partner and he's an angel. So I feel very lucky. But of course, still, there's moments where things get stressful. I mean, COVID happened, and so we didn't have business for like a year. And we've made mistakes along the way. We've missed a tour or something. We've had things happen, and it's so easy in those moments to come down on, each other as partners, or or to let it affect the script of the business and to start seeing things in like a negative light. So for me, something that's been huge is reframing everything into a positive. And especially when I'm talking to my business partner, it sets the mood. We have different roles. I'm online and he's in person, and so when I'm talking to him, that ripples into how he talks to our guides, and that ripples into how he feels about the business. And it just creates like a climate of, like positive energy towards the business. So keeping that vision, even I've noticed like doing manifestation exercises and like any kind of work on myself, I've noticed that the business naturally tends to do good. But I would say primarily on that one. Yeah, making sure to keep the climate good between like business partners. Like sometimes people can get, think about themselves first, and we don't really have that in our business. We're just like, how can we rock this together always? And like, and coming from like generosity with it is powerful. Not letting the lack mindset come in.
Okay, next step number 3.
Cultivating a team of high achievers. So finding people who not only do the job, like initially we looked for people who did the job, and that was really cool too. But but finding people who fall in love with our mission, that really get it, like spending a little bit of extra time, connecting to them and telling them our vision and mission. And as they fall in love with it and staying really open to how they want to grow it, because we don't know, especially our guides are younger than us and they're a little bit like more tapped in. So we just listen and they're like, oh, I want to do this, or I want to change this on the website or this on the flyer. We get excited with them. We're like, yeah, let's do it. You're awesome. Yeah. So that would be step 3.
Step 4.
Okay. This one's really interesting because I don't know who told me this, but it was right at the beginning when business. So the 4th one would be never say no, just charge more.
I love it.
Yeah, because it's interesting that like initially when I would get requests that said, can I do this weird thing? Can I change this? Can I can I add a picnic? Can I, like, all these requests that we didn't have on the website? Initially, I would say no. And then I met somebody that just told me, they're like, but is there a price where you would do that? And I was like, I mean, I guess if I charge something outrageous, and at that time we were charging nothing for our tours. And so we were normally charging 500 or something for a tour. And then we had this group and they had every ridiculous request in the world. And we decided I was like, screw it. Yes, we can do it for $7,000 or something. And at the price comparison is kind of extreme, but they were like, okay, great. Sounds good. Send us the invoice. And I was like, what? Are you serious? Like, I was mind blown. I was like, oh my God, we can charge anything. And people will still buy. And I think it gets kind of
for them. Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's kind of common for people to think that, oh, if I charge less, then, that's better because I don't want to be like taking from them, or they have this weird mentality when in reality, when you charge less, you pay your team less, the team's less happy. We take care of our team because we charge a lot. And so everyone's happy. It's a dream job,
Exactly.
And so really when you're aiming for higher bars for yourself, it's actually like it gets everything higher for all the people around you. And like, what wouldn't you, that's what we want. We want them to love their job and we want them to prioritize us over anything else. And so yeah, definitely that's been a really interesting lesson.
And then the last one?
Learning what drives you. This one is interesting because some people are naturally money driven. And so then you can stay ambitious because you're watching your bank account go up. And some people are driven by service, like giving back. And so then you can be driven by that. And for me, I learned what drives me is other people's visions. So I have to it takes me talking to my guides and being like, what's your guys' dreams, and how do you love your job? Or like, how much do you want to work? And then them telling me like, oh, I wish I could do this full time instead of, my restaurant job. That is what drives me. Because then I can go into looking for advertising because I'm like, well, this is exactly what I want. I want them to live their dream. I want them to have this full time. I want this guy to send his kid to college, so for me, what drives me and motivates me is other people getting their dreams coming true. And so if it's a combination of also my dreams coming true in the process, then I can get on board. But when I focused on it being money or something, like I could not get myself to work. I don't care. I don't care what we make. I couldn't. So really figuring it out for yourself, like what's that thing that drives you? And then, yeah, letting that kind of run the show. Yeah.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.